Good morning. Good morning. How we doing, Carlos?
Good. Woo! Friday.
It's Friday, baby. It's Friday. It is Follow Up Friday 35. We've been doing 35 episodes, my friend. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. A lot.
35 episodes. That's crazy. We've gone through a pandemic. We started before the pandemic. We've gone through a pandemic, and this is a post-pandemic episode 35, which is good. I guess semi-post-pandemic, right?
That's right. I can consider it.
Yeah.
Some people are back in it, but, you got to keep moving forward. You got to keep plugging away.
That's right.
Life can't stop.
Yep, absolutely. How's your week been, my friend?
It's been good. It's been real good. Yesterday, I spent all day long shopping some real estate.
Did you really? I saw some.
Yeah, I shouldn't say all day. The morning I did some installs, but after that morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, after that, I just did nothing until almost 8 o'clock. I didn't get home.
Wow. I saw some pictures you were posting as well. Was that commercial property?
Yeah, commercial and residential. I got some people that are looking for some lake homes and some people that are looking for some commercial. So
nice.
I had a lot to do yesterday.
Nice. That's a good thing. You got a lot of interaction.
I did almost 300 miles yesterday.
Really? Wow. That's good. You got a lot of probably got a lot of interactions and met a lot of people, saw a lot of people yesterday, I'm sure, right? All that driving.
Yeah, I met some people. I took some time. I met some people. I talked to people. Yesterday was a day of, I made some stops along the way. I followed up with some of my old clients. I stopped by and said hi to some people. I shopped some real estate. I did a little of everything. I shouldn't say that I just did real estate. I stopped and talked to some clients just to say hi.
Nice.
And say hi, how are you guys doing? And stop by. I was in the neighborhood. I stopped by some commercial properties. I stopped by some residential properties too, some people's houses. I just stopped by and said hi.
Nice.
So
you got a lot of stuff done. That's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I did a lot of follow-up yesterday. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I guess we don't have to wait till Friday to follow up, right?
No.
It's just a day. It's just a day we can allocate to do it, right?
It's a day that sounds good, and you could really just, hey, let's do it on this day.
Absolutely.
You should make it a good day of just follow up. No matter what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree completely. Well, I thought we'd kick around, talk a little bit about this article, which we've talked a little bit about before, dominant follow-up strategies. And, out of this is our infographic that we love so much, the progression of a sale. And I thought we'd kind of, talk a little more about this. There is so much information in this article that it's impossible to cover it all in a small session. So I thought it's good to kind of kick back through it a little bit and just kind of talk through it a little bit. As we know, the progression of the sale, which is, again, one of my favorite infographics out there. We're in the business of sales, the business of following up with people in order to convert deals. This infographic really tells us everything we need to know, right? It's, 43% of the salespeople give up after the first contact. 68% of the salespeople have given up after the second contact. 80% have given up after the third contact. After the fourth, we're talking about low-hanging fruit. After the fifth, we're really getting to know the prospect and their needs, understand, their birthdays, their things of that nature. After the sixth, we're the only one that's making 6 contacts. And after the seventh, we now own mindshare as a default. When that person's ready to purchase, because we've interacted and reached out and connected so much, at least 7 times, we're the first thought when they think about service or that product, that we're going to buy, that they want to buy or purchase. So love this. What's your favorite contact point on here? I know I had some ahas when I first read this. What about you, Carlos?
Well, I mean, it's I love it all. It just kills me how people just give up. I started to say this from the very beginning when we started doing these videos, is that you can't ever, even after that seventh try, you can't give up. You can't ever stop. It's a building a relationship. It's not, hey, you're not going to buy from me. It's not you're not going to do business with me, or they're not doing anything with me, they're not responding. It's, you got to develop a relationship. So you shouldn't even stop after that. But we've had some experience where, at that seventh contact, that you do get something, don't you?
We have. I share with you a screenshot of a guy that it was on the seventh or eighth contact, and it was going back to last year, right? I think that was like in September, October when I first got that lead, right?
Yeah.
And and that was one of them, and there was another that I shared. So yeah, it was exciting. It was actually exciting to go back and look at the history of how many times I tried to, connect with that person, because it logs every time I try to reach out to them, or anytime I have a discussion. And when I went back and looked at the history, because I saw the age of the lead, it was kind of exciting to see that, because it just proved these numbers right.
Right.
It just proved these numbers right. And after that happened, not that I needed that to occur, but after that happened, it also energized me. It energized me. So now when I go in and I'm doing my calling, I'm energized, because I know if I understand the progression of a sale, the number of attempts, the number of contacts, where I stand, the more I attempt to reach out to that person. If I understand this and the numbers are true, then all I need to do is just keep dialing, or keep stopping by, or keep calling on someone. I just need to keep doing it, right?
Yeah, you can't stop. You can't. You have to keep. You got to keep plugging away, and you got to keep just showing your face. It's just developing that relationship. It's so much easier if people would stop selling. I want the sale. Like, people reach out to me every day now. I mean, all the time. I get either spam emails or LinkedIn. And it's just like, look, guys. If you really truly care or want my business, or care, like these people are saying, oh, I see your Instagram, you're doing so well on it, and then I have this, and this. Well, if you guys really truly cared, or I got a message that said, I love your content that you're sharing on Instagram, and then they just get right into the sale, instead of caring about the person.
Right.
It doesn't. I mean, they're not going to. I mean, yeah, if they're doing thousands and thousands and thousands, it's a number game for them. It is a numbers game. But guys, you gotta build that relationship up, especially if it's local business. I mean, if you're an online, if you're an online business and you're trying to get a numbers game, that's fine. But it's not gonna. You could keep reaching out. Like, these people that reach out to me only reach out to me once. I don't see those same people 7 times.
Right.
I don't see them twice, really. A lot of them. I've seen a couple, but that's just sad that if I don't respond the first time,
you go away. Yeah.
They go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they truly, truly cared, you just build a relationship up, and you could do it fast. You don't have to be slow. You could do it every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. Or every week, or every holiday, throughout the year. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So I think I share with you, the insurance lady. Actually, it was a gentleman that started out reaching out to me back in 2015 or 2016, I think. And I left, went to a different company. He kept reaching out, kept reaching out, checking in periodically. You know, I left, went to another company. He reached out, and all of a sudden somebody else reached out who was working with him. He had left the company. I responded back to her email because I was now ready to purchase. I was ready for that insurance vehicle, that product that they were offering, and I was ready before. I just wasn't ready to make a decision. But through the effective follow-up, the consistent follow-up, she ended up getting my business, and I just consummated that deal last year, 2019. He started reaching out in 2016, and consistently reached out over the course of the next 2 years. She picked up, and they finally got my business. But I can tell you right now, they contacted me way more than 7 times, Carlos, like you said, way more.
And now, see, now that you bring that up, I'll give another example. My insurance lady, so my wife and I agreed that just because we build up relationships or we know a ton of people, just because you know an insurance agent or a mortgage guy, or we're not going to just drop and change our services just because we know somebody.
Right.
So we decided that, early on, because people were just hounding us, and you switch over here. Well, we had some bad experiences when we did switch. And so right then and there, it's like, we're not doing this anymore. But I can tell you this much. My insurance agent, I did switch probably maybe a year ago. And this insurance agent thought more of me than just the sale. Did business with me. As in alongside, co-branded with me. Did some, let's build up business together. Let's, it was more than just doing business with me.
Right.
Took me out to lunch, asked me about my life, cared about it, did other things than just, here, I need the sale. Actually, she didn't even ask me ever to do business with her. I reached out to her and said, quote me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when the time I needed it, my kid turned 16 and I needed insurance for my car, and I got a quote from my insurance agent. I'm like, whoa, this is a shocker for me. My first kid, turned 16. I'm like, woohoo, oh, this is expensive.
Right.
So then I thought about her, because right away I was like, here, quote me this, because she didn't ever ask me for business. She just was there, and she interacted, and she co-branded on some events with me. She attended events that I put on. She was always around, but never ever said, can I quote you in your life insurance or your car insurance or your home insurance? Never asked that. I reached out to her because she was always in front of me, always around, always there. And she was there. And so I asked her to quote me some, and she had a good deal. She went over it, reviewed it all with me, went over everything. It went over it in detail, and I've had other insurance agents that I've switched over, and they just said, here, I'll take care of you, and then never explained anything.
Wow.
Cool. And so it was just a good experience with her, just continuously reaching out, and being in front of me, not pushing the sale, and it's not, you got to get sales, but you got to do it, in a nice way,
Right.
Not too pushy.
Well, what you just described is the epitome of this progression of the sale. You talk about building a relationship. You talk about contacts. Every time she was there at events, doing things with you, those are all counting as contacts.
Yes, she was in front of me way more than 7 times. She called me way more than 7 times. It was not like it was It was way more than 7 times. She called me 7 times for different reasons, more than just, here, let me quote you.
Right.
I talked to her way more than 7 times. Actually, to be honest with you, I think it was at least 8, 9, 10 months, maybe 12 months before I even asked her to quote me that insurance.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, that's what I heard. What you were saying, you were talking about the relationship building. All I kept saying is, well, she's got to the point of contact 7 probably 7 different times. You probably spoke with her or had contact with her 49 times. And
7 times in 1 month.
Yeah. And she didn't have to ask for the sale. And that's what this is talking about too. This talking about when you get past contact 7 with a person, you own mindshare as a default choice when you're ready. So when you were ready for insurance, she was a default choice.
Yes.
She's the only thing that came to your mind because of the relationships, because of the contacts, because of the opportunities that, to stay in front of you. That's exactly why this is so effective. And she didn't have to ask for the sale once. Isn't that something?
And that's the thing is I told my wife, I was like, look, this person's been here. They've been here. They've helped me. They've interacted. I want to give this person this business. And we got some quotes, and that was a big concern. Money is a big concern. Saving money, making sure, it's all a big concern. So, and it's not necessarily if it's $20 difference, I'm going to go with the person I like.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's $20 more. But when in this case I had to switch. I mean, it was thousands. I mean, it was it was a couple $1,000s difference. So for this instance, I had to change. But you got to be in front of people. You got to be in 7 contacts or more. You can't ever give up, ever.
Yeah. So I have a gentleman right now in Texas who I don't think he really truly wants to sell his house, but he'd reached out to me for financing probably close to the beginning of the year. And we still talk and still have conversations, even though, like I said, I don't think he really wants to sell his house and buy a new one. I got him pre-approved. He's gone through about 3 houses and backed out of every one of those, which is just fine because the house had issues that, they weren't acceptable, which is fine. But long story short is when we first talked, we started talking about him and what was important to him and his family and stuff like that. We rolled into baseball. We started talking about baseball, and now we've got some commonalities. And so now I can just call him and say, hey, what do you think about the restart of the baseball season? You pretty excited about that? I'm not calling asking about, are you still looking to buy a house? I'm calling him to build on that contact ladder. I'm calling him to build on the contact. I'm way past 7 as well on him now, obviously. So I'm now just continuing to build the relationship with him. Because guess what? He might not ever decide to sell his house and move. He might not ever decide to do that. But you know what? If his daughter, if a coworker, if a friend, if someone in the community decides that they need a banker to get a mortgage, who is he going to recommend? Who's going to be top of mind? Right. So it's not necessarily always about making the contact and asking for the sale. It's like you said, and like you described, that was a perfect example. It's about the relationship build and checking in, providing opportunities to interact.
Yeah, 100%. I keep saying that from the very beginning. It takes more than 7 contacts. If you truly care about their business and they're in your scope of they might need your service, this seven contacts is you need to do way more than that. And it's not about sales. It's about building that relationship because, they, like you said, they might not ever do business with you, but they might know somebody that does.
That's right. Absolutely.
And that will work,
Yep. Again, it talks about top of mind, and that's really what it's about. And a genuine attempt to build a relationship will put us top of mind. The genuineness, I mean, people can tell that. It'll put us top of mind, and it's just the follow-up. It's the consistency. It's creating the opportunities to stay in front of them. That's important, and that's where a day like today, or a holiday, are great opportunities for us to, reach out and make another contact. Reach out and set up a coffee appointment, or drop by a Popeye gift, or mail a gift certificate, or whatever. Right? Just opportunities those are all contact points. They're all contact points, and so we want to be top of mind. That's the purpose, because we want to be the default choice. And so I love that illustration. You know what? I tell you what, insurance people, they got to be some of the best salespeople out there, because my cousin was an insurance sales guy, and he taught me a couple of things. His milk route, he told me about the milk route that they taught him, to go and pick a day or two of the week and pop by and make contacts consistently. It's call on some clients, existing and new prospects, and that milk route. And he taught. I mean, I learned some things when he was going through his training. I was like, man, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you that is the best thing to do in any business. Anybody that is out there that is doing business, if you don't have a milk route, then you're not. You should have one, because it works for every single business out there.
Yeah.
I had not too long ago, Jimmy John's stops by all our strip center. I'm sure it's not just ours, but they stopped by our whole entire strip center and dropped off a sample. Here, have one. Here's our menu. Here's our catering menu.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Jimmy John's. Who doesn't know Jimmy John's?
Yeah. Everybody
knows Jimmy John's. And yet they're still out there. They still got their people out there walking door to door giving samples.
Yeah.
The little sandwich, but it's a sample, and they give a to-go menu.
Yep. And you know what? I'd love to see the stats as to how quickly that phone number lights up when those people walk out of that door.
Yep.
In 24 to 48 hours, whether it's an office. I mean, we've ordered Jimmy John's at the office. I've ordered Jimmy John's a number of times.
Times.
And they've come in. In fact, they came into Remax. They did the same thing. You're right. I've seen them like 3 or 4 times in different places where I've worked, where they've come by and done that. As a matter of fact, as you mentioned that,
and that's the same thing. If you have a product or service that you could give a sample for, then do that. If not, I mean, like I have samples of my window graphics or whatever, business cards. If I give them a business card, whatever. But if you have samples of your business, then you need to go out and you need to walk door to door, because at every single business, there's always a person that could use your service. You could go, Stephen, you could go into any business right now, and you could, because every single one of those people might buy a house, own a house, or they're thinking about buying a house, that are in those businesses.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. And I know that for a fact, because I applied that principle when I owned a transmission shop. Right. I did the same thing. I focused on automotive shops first. When I ran out of automotive shops in between where I lived and where I worked, then I went to businesses, because I thought exactly as you just said. Well, guess what? Every one of those employees in that company, in that business, has a car or knows someone who has a car. So I should certainly now be calling on them. And it worked. It was extremely successful. In fact, it's funny because I didn't even call it. Connie says Popeyes are everything. I drop mine off once a month at Consuelo Montoya. Yes, she's absolutely right. Past clients, she's absolutely right. Popeyes are critical, right? Stay top of mind. But I didn't even know what I was doing at the time, Carlos, was a milk route. I didn't know that. Cotman Transmission, when we went through the franchisee training, they just told us to do outside sales and to pick a day or to do it, whatever. And I didn't realize that the technique that they were explaining was a milk route, right? And that's what it was. It was like, hey, go by and hit all the automotive shops, and then go by and hit them again, and then hit them again, and then hit them again. They were basically teaching me a milk route, and I didn't realize that, and it's so effective because, you know what, I can tell you, I don't know the stats on Jimmy John's, but I know the stats on when I would leave that, because mine was on a Friday. When I would leave that shop, by the time I made it back to my shop in a couple of hours later, my technicians would be like, man, the phone is blowing up. People have been calling here left and right. And it was all those places where I stopped by and dropped a flyer off, or donuts off, or bagels off, or things of that nature, cookies. It was all those places. They popped in and they called, right? So the response, I know the response and the effectiveness of Popeyes, as Consuelo talks about, or the milk route, right? It's the same thing, same concept. You're going to get response. That activity is going to get some response.
And you might not see anything right then and there, but if you can, and you can't just do it. You might not see anything right then and there, and you can't just do it one time.
Right.
You have to see these people over and over. You might feel like, man, I'm bugging these people, or these people are probably going crazy because I'm stopping by here. It doesn't matter. Do it for a reason, not to sell them something. Say hi, develop a relationship, learn their business. I try to learn about everybody's business because for one, I'm getting educated. I'm learning more about people's businesses. If anybody ever asks, I think of it. I sit there and think, oh, this guy I just met does something like that. You got to go out there and you have to do it over and over. That's 7 times. Even if you're calling people 7 times, you gotta see them 7 times. You got to go and stop by. You got to keep circling around. You can't go to that place just one time.
Right. And part of those contacts are opportunities to get to know them, to find out about, their family, hey, how was your holiday, right? Your holiday will lead you into information that they have a family. And so now, when you come back by, and I know real effective follow-up people do this very well. It's like, hey, Steve, how's Grant? How's baseball going? And it's like, they picked up on and remembered that from a previous conversation, right? And so now it's like, okay, well, if you're interested enough in me to remember the name of my son, that he plays baseball or basketball, maybe you actually are a pretty good person I should probably consider doing business with, right?
Right.
So that's part of what those contacts are. Part of those contacts are gathering information, getting to know the person. And it's not always about sharing what we can do. It's about gathering and getting to know that person, right?
Yeah. It's getting their knowledge. It's getting who they are. Find out. It's the personable. You got to be personable. It's got to be for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and it's like I say, that Ford, right? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Ford. You spend some time with someone, you should know Ford, about their family, about their occupation, about their recreation, what they like to do, and about their dreams. What do they want to do? What do they want to accomplish? If you know Ford about a person, then you are effectively in a position to build a relationship and to potentially have a customer for life, right? Because we're all in the business. Those of us are in the business of commission or variable income or referral business. We should know Ford about each person, right? That's how I build my conversations when I sit down and talk to someone. I'm trying to get all of those FORD, get them all answered before I walk away.
Because what if you could help somebody? What if something that you learn about that person, you could help them go towards their dreams, get their dreams, or what they want for their dreams, accomplish their dreams. What if you could help somebody? Because you have no clue. There might be something that you're an expert at, or something else that you've known, or somebody that is great at it. Until you find out what their hopes and dreams are, maybe you can help them. And you have no clue just because you didn't ask the question.
Correct. That's right. Because those of us that are interacting with other people and going to different things and doing different things, we do run across opportunities that pop up all the time. And so if we do know someone who has a need, boy, what a great way to truly build some relationships, some equity, and to do something good, just to do something good. Just because, and listen, if I get to meet somebody and they say, well, listen, you know what, I really need X, Y, or Z. And then I'm talking to someone 2 weeks down the line or a month down the line who has X, Y, and Z. That's a connection. That's a connection opportunity, for that person. And so it's valuable. And that's all part of those contacts. I mean, we can find that out. No wasted opportunities, right? No wasted opportunities, no wasted leads.
No, you just never know. And that's the thing. I mean, that's what I do every single day. I try to sit there and I meet people. I learn about their business. I learn about them. And, if it's something that I can help, if somebody I can refer, I might not do business with them. But if I can help them in any way, if I can refer business to them, it is a great opportunity. So I'm going to follow up with the people I met yesterday. And I'm going to go see the same people all the time, so that way I'm always in front of them. And if I can help them, it's you gotta be true to them. You gotta be, you have to be helpful,
Yeah. Well, whenever we focus on others, instead of focusing on ourselves, nothing but good things comes out of that. I mean, nothing but good things come out of that. When we focus on others and how we can help other people and, do something to benefit them, nothing but good things come out of that. First of all, the person, gets the help that they need. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about anyway, right? I mean, when I'm going through something or dealing with something, really the most important thing that I can do is to get out of my own head and go help somebody else, right? So, trying to do something to help someone or focusing on helping somebody else out gets me out of, where I might be, which might be a good place, right? So, nothing but good things come out of our focus on trying to help others. And, we can find out what kind of help someone needs, by touching base with them, by contacting them, and by doing exactly what the progression of this sale is talking about, is making those contacts, making enough contacts, gathering information, seeing how we can be of service and be of help. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. If you, this famous saying, you can have everything in life you want if you just help others get what they want.
I love that. Say that again, Carlos.
If you can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want.
I'm going to type that in the comments. You can have everything in life you want
if you will just help other people get what they want.
Boom. I added to the comments. I love that. That's good. You can have everything in life you want if you just help other people get what they want. You're right. That's what it's all about, man. Help other people. Help other people. It always comes back. This is like one of my favorite topics, man, when we talk about this progression of the sale, because like I said, man, it energizes me. Sometimes my energy level might not be that high when I got to make my calls, but knowing what this looks like and what this talks about in those numbers just gives me some extra motivation to pick up the phone and make the call or get outside and make the drive.
If everybody would understand that, just like the milk route, that's got to be a big thing. I mean, I think we should start pushing that because it's old school, but old school still works, but people shouldn't say it's old school, but people are promoting it and still pushing it. It's just they say it differently, it's if you're not doing it, if somebody comes up to me and says I'm struggling with getting business and this just isn't good business or it's not something that it's too hard. It's a tough business. It's not. If you're not out seeing people every day, meeting new people every day, and you see them over and over, like I said, you can't just do that once. When I went door to door with my big mouth, I went and did the same area. I'll do one area and I'll move on, and I'll do another area, move on, do another area. But then I went circled right back around and did that same area again, and did the same thing, and I just did it over and over and over. I went just like people go networking. When before COVID, people were networking. What they do, they go into the same networking events and they saw the same people, So you have to keep doing the same thing over and over, and you got to keep going back and forth. You got to do it. It's 7 times, even if it's phone calls or if it's shaking hands or fist bumping or whatever everybody's doing now, or elbow whatever you're doing, you got to do it 7 times. You got to see these people over and over and over. You can't just see them once. You can't just see them and then they go away, or you can't just talk to them once and they go away. You can see that it takes 7 contacts.
Minimum 7 contacts is what it takes to own mindshare. And that's the key. Is I want to be the default choice. I want to be the default choice when that person decides to make a choice, a decision on a service or a product that we may be offering. We want to be the default choice. We want to be the automatic choice. Mindshare. And that only happens if we're looking to build relationships on a consistent basis with someone, if we're looking to help others, and we're looking to do that consistently. I like the point you said about consistency, Carlos. It's not a one-time seagull, right? The seagull, pops in and pops out of the water. It's not a seagull type deal. It's a consistent thing.
It's not a one-night stand.
Yeah.
Some people might know that.
Yeah, nothing good comes from those either. Nothing good. Well, not always, but you know what I mean.
Some people do,
but yeah.
But you can't do that one. You can't do it. You have to consistently be in front of people. It can't be a one night stand with your person. And if you want to develop a relationship and learn what they are, then you have to see them over and over and over and over, and you got to keep developing that relationship.
Absolutely.
But you can't. You have to continuously contact these people over and over. You got to call them. You got to call them. And I said just before 4th of July, it's like you got to find a reason to call them. If it's a holiday, or if it's how is your family doing with the COVID, or if it's just having strike up a conversation. I guarantee you guys, you're trying to get a hold of somebody on the phone, and you start making it personable, and you start asking questions about them and caring about them, then the sale, you will get something out of it. Maybe not them, but you will get something. Referral.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. We have to remember, the holiday. I told you, the July 4th holiday was a great opportunity for us to, send text messages out saying happy holidays. 49 responses, off of my just sending out text messages saying, hey, happy 4th of July, you and your family.
49.
49 responses, and so it's important to understand that, if we make the attempt, if we consistently reach out every holiday, boy, think about that. That's a contact. If you say nothing else, but I'm going to reach out to my past clients or my prospects every holiday, you got well more than 7 holidays that we're going to run across in a year. So that's going to certainly put you in mindshare position, if that person's not ready to do something right now. Certainly. Certainly. So, cool. Well, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. Anything else before we wrap up? This is Friday. I got some leads and some people to call. I know you have. You've been on the road, so I know you've got some people to call. anything, any other last minute thoughts on it, Carlos?
No, man, this thing can't be Friday, man. You got to make it someday. You got to make one day, at least one day a week, to make your contacts. You got to just keep plugging away, keep hustling. You got to keep meeting people, telling them who you are and what you do. You got to consistently keep in front of people, everyone. And I say people, everyone. You meet somebody, you're trying to contact somebody, get them on the phone and find out who they are and what they do, and try that and let me know if it doesn't work, because it'll work.
Right. If you have a problem trying to figure out, like, hey, what do I say? How do I approach them? Hey, Carlos, what's the telephone number? We'll be happy to talk, text, to go over the stuff with you. What's the number they can call?
It's 913-703-7000. If you have a problem with it not working, if somebody gives you grief about it, then call me or text me and let me know. You can text 913-703-7000.
We'll be happy to help. Happy to give you some verbiage. If you need to know how to approach them, reach out. That's what we're here for. Reach out. We'll be happy to give you some verbiage, some scripting, whatever. Heck, you know what? I don't mind making a call with you. We can pop on the phone and let's make a call together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
You gotta make it fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm typing in, this infographic has some good information. I'm typing this stuff into the comments. I'm looking forward to some feedback, some interaction on these comments. So also like and share this podcast, if you will, guys. Let's get it out to people that may need it. And that's what we're here for, to see how we can help others. How we can help others is what we're here for.
Yes.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, listen, Carlos, where can we find you? Where can we find you on social media?
You can Google me. Carlos Ceballos Hustle. Google
Carlos Ceballos Hustle.
That's right.
Google him. And then I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Periscope. Did I miss something? And I'm also on the web at 4ahome.loan, www.4ahome.loan. You can reach me at fountainmortgage.com as well. And you can reach us both at the number 913-713-7000, right, Carlos?
703-7000, 913-703-7000.
And that number is actually still showing up as well on our signatures and descriptions too. Remember, contact number 5, you're really getting to know the prospect and their needs. That's what it's all about. We want to make enough attempts and contacts to get to know the prospect and get to know their needs. Number 5, the 5th attempt, you're really getting to know the prospect and their needs. Getting to know people, building a relationship, that's what it's about. That's where we can really have our maximum effect in terms of helping people. And when we help others, Carlos said it best, when we help others, others help us. And I think he said, you can have everything in life you want if you just help other people get what they want.
That's right.
Cool. All right, Carlos, have a good weekend, my friend. I'm gonna pound the phones. I went to a couple different coffee shops. I went to a smoothie shop over there at it's called Enjoy Pure over in Mission Farms, and walked out of the restroom, and what did I see? A corkboard with business cards, baby.
So you picked up some cards.
Take one, add one. Take one, add one. So I got some prospecting to do. We have some commonalities. We both like Enjoy Pure. So I'm going to follow up and open up the telephone call with Carlos. You and I have good taste. What do you mean?
That's right.
I see you would like to enjoy Pure just like I do.
That's right.
There's a follow-up, baby.
That's just
I did that. Hey, remember
call.
I told you I did that at the Thai house. Remember I told you I did that at the Thai house, and got a friend, a very good friend, that we're working on a deal right now. called and said, I see we share the same great taste. We like the Thai house. We ended up having lunch at the Thai house. We're working on the deal right now.
Sweet.
That was a Follow-Up Friday call. Live testimony, baby. Testimony.
That's
All right, my friend. Have a good one. Listen, we will, all these comments have the information we've talked about. We want to be the default choice. We're the only one making 6 attempts. Number 5, obviously, that's where we really get to know the prospect. Low-hanging fruit is on 4. 80% of the salespeople give up on 3 attempts. 60%, 68 give up after the second. 43% give up after the first. So there you go. There you have it. You don't want to be in any of these. We want to be on contact 7, baby. We want to be the default choice.
That's right.
Have a good one, my friend. We're out, man.
All right.
Have a good weekend, guys.
See you later.